What's up, guys, and welcome to BitCast, episode 117 for the month of February 2024. I'm your host, Jake Martin. On the mics, as always, we have Landry Smith. What's up, dude?
Jake, what's up, man? It's good to see you. Good to hear you.
Another month. It's been so long.
Yeah, man. It has been. And a lot has happened. It has been a busy February.
So many things have happened. So many not good things.
Yeah, it's kind of a drab February. I guess that's fitting for the season.
Some good things did happen this month.
Yes.
But yeah. So last we talked, we were just getting started off, and we were just trying out this new monthly format. Got a little bit of feedback from like some close friends. Like Mark was like, "Hey, love what you guys are doing. Just give us some more like hard opinions. Just like don't just tell me the news. Like tell me what you think about the news."
He wants those hot takes, doesn't he?
He wants the hot takes, and I don't even know if we have the hot takes, Landry. You and I are pretty level-headed, but
we are. Yeah, we're very logical people.
We'll try to cut through the noise to give you guys the important things you need to know in this podcast. So if you are tuning in,
we had someone call me a Skip Bayless this week. So like the hot take king. So maybe I need to tone it down a little bit.
When you get fired up, I do think that you can say some things that I think most other people may or may not agree with.
Maybe that's true.
But if you are tuning in, we are Landry and I have this format. And it's dedicated strictly for those people who want to be involved in gaming, but don't really have the time to do it. You see, there's a lot of news out there, and we're cutting through that just to give you the most important distilled information for the whole month of February. And we do it in like 4 sections. So we have the month in gaming news, Game and Watch, and then our Game of the Month club. So if you're tagging along, you have a whole month to play a game that we're playing, and we'll talk about it at the end of the month. So it's kind of like a little book club situation for video games. And then our favorite hit game, Name That Game Music, where I play 3 songs for Landry. He has to guess what game it is and what area or level that it appears.
I hope to do better than last month.
You got 5 points out of 10, so not bad. Not bad. But yeah, I got 3 this time. Last time we only had 1. It's going to be a little more exciting. So we have a lot to cover, Landry, as you mentioned. So I'm going to go ahead and leave the housekeeping for the end, and we're going to jump right into this month in gaming news. Like that's where the noise comes in.
Who needs a soundboard when you got Jake Martin, man?
Exactly, just some explosive noises with my mouth. Ugh.
Incredible.
No one wants that. All right, so covering the biggest news from the month with our own curated selection so you don't get bogged down. Let's start at the top here, Landry. Industry stuff you should know about. And at the very, very top, this happened actually in January. We had the PlayStation State of Play, where we got a whole bunch of news from PlayStation first-party studios and other just random partners. Actually, I think it may have all just been third-party partners. I don't even know. And
there was one big, well, maybe. I guess you're right.
They're all third party.
Yeah, you're right.
Because it's Kojima. But so what'd you think of this overall? Like, was there any like standouts and like the announcements for you?
Yeah, when I watched it, I thought it like was paced pretty well. I was there was a couple titles I was kind of stoked about. But what's interesting is we were talking about it before the show, and you're like, "What was on that State of Play?" And this was like 3 weeks ago, and I was like, "Man, I have no idea. I can't even remember." So none of it made too much of an impression outside of Death Stranding, which looked really cool. And I didn't play the first one, and I am not the biggest Kojima fan. And that's not necessarily because I dislike Kojima. It's more because I have not given him the time probably that his games deserve, mostly speaking about Metal Gear Solid. Right. So, I hope this year to actually play through the Metal Gear Solid games. But now I'm really interested in Death Stranding because that trailer looked pretty cool. Like all Kojima trailers, it was like I never got my bearings. Like I have no idea what's going on. But the absurdity of it all, and there's no denying that there's an appeal to the kind of weirdness and there's almost like this just strange beauty to it all. So yes. I'm interested.
It almost, like now that we're at this intersection where AI is so prevalent in creation and art, you almost would say that Kojima is using AI to make some of this stuff because it's just so off the walls and weird looking. But nope, that's just him. That's
Just him.
just Kojima.
Here's the brain
making
of a
some
computer.
weird hand gloves that
Dude, that was so strange.
and light a cigarette for her. I mean, it was
That's probably
certainly
like the most like memorable image to me. Just I don't think I'll get that out of my head for a while. So
yeah. And I think that's a good hallmark of a trailer that's well done. There's just moments that stick with you because like we said, there were things that I just completely forgot. I'm like, I don't even know what was in here. But
right.
I will give a good shout out to Dragon's Dogma 2. When that was first shown, I actually thought it was maybe Elden Ring or something like that. And then I saw the gameplay. I was like, this looks pretty cool, actually. Like the combat looks nice. There's some magic stuff going on. There's some dragons. Like I'm into this.
I think when I saw it, that was what I was probably highest on. And then I was really excited to see Ken Levine's new project again, Judas. It's not the first time we've seen it. And it's looking very BioShock-esque. But, that is one of my 10 favorite games. So I would say that if Judas is like a spiritual successor to BioShock, I'm pretty okay with that. If they can pull off, the same kind of ambiance and atmosphere and, in-world storytelling, it should be special. We'll see.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited for that. It's a game that like scared me a ton as a kid, and
same. It's very terrifying.
But I think I'm a big boy now, and I should be able to handle it. So we'll see.
That was one of the first. BioShock was one of the first games where I remember hearing commentary on it and actually like reading stuff that was related to the story and like getting into Ayn Rand for the first time. Pretty good piece of art if it can get you into other stuff as well.
There you go, folks. So yeah, I thought it was a decent state of play, but it kind of left me just like, all right, yeah, these are all looking pretty good, but not a lot of like surefire dates on some things. I know Dragon's Dogma is coming out in March, but a lot of this stuff was like a first look and just like, hey, it's coming down the road. We'll see. We also got Stellar Blade, which I made this comment, and I'm just gonna say it here too. Like, it looks cool, but like the emphasis on the butts. It's just the whole game is about the butts, and
it had a very Bayonetta vibe.
Yes,
which is not my vibe. So
that's not my vibe. Yeah, but it does look cool, which is a shame because if it's just one of those games where I'm like, this is up on my TV, and anybody walks in, they're like, dude, what are you playing right now? It's like, don't. It's a cool game. I'm playing it for the action. Okay. Right. It's just not. Yeah. So we'll see. That looks like a real Nier Automata game, like the.
Yeah, like those games like Bayonetta and everything, like those always come out and I'm like, please don't score well because I don't want to feel pressure to play this. And and then they always do, and I'm like, dang now, like if I want to be hip on the trends, I need to go and seek this out. I've actually played 2 of the 3 Bayonetta games, and I will say that as a character action game, they're the cream of the crop, but it's just awkward, man.
Yeah. We don't, it doesn't have to be that way, but, to each their own. All right. So let's jump over to probably, I would say, one of the biggest news stories from this month, from February. The whole Microsoft debacle. Will Microsoft become a third-party publisher?
We had a week of some pretty wild speculation.
I mean, even we were speculating in our little group chat, but like, it really it got out of hand so fast, and this is just a clear depiction of how just kind of crazy the internet is, and how fast information travels, and how quickly it can just become like way separated from the truth of like what is actually happening. So I don't even know how this started. Like there was a rumor that like Hi-Fi Rush, like it got leaked that it was coming to like a Nintendo and PS5.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves, I think, was one of the ones that was leaked as well.
And so this got out, and for like a good, I don't know how many days, people were just freaking out, saying like, "Holy smokes, Xbox is just like starting to go third-party publisher. They're dropping all their games on everyone's platform." We talked about it last month, being a dumb take that Xbox is diluting their brand by publishing on other platforms, and that's still a conversation to have. But this time around, it got out of hand really fast, and like, it got real dire. I don't know if you remember what it was on Twitter, but
you have people burning Xboxes. I mean,
yes, like
was
selling
wild.
their Xboxes, going to get PS5s. It's just
Xbox content creators like saying, I'm out. I'm not doing this anymore. Like if they send Starfield to PS5, like just just silly stuff.
It really, I mean, but so the one thing of that argument that I do think is true, if indeed Microsoft sees that porting their games, so I guess we should say this first. They did. Xbox head Phil Spencer, Sarah Bond, and Matt Booty. They all actually got on a podcast with Tina Amini, ex-IGN employee slash podcaster slash, I don't know exactly what her title was. She might have been like editor.
She was news.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Sorry, Tina. Got on that podcast to address the rumors and basically said, yes, we're bringing 4 games over. We're bringing Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, and what was the other one?
Well, they didn't announce them at the. They did not announce them on the podcast. They specifically said we're not going to announce them. We're going to let our studios do the announcing because they work really hard for this, and I don't know that they had intended to have this podcast. It's like a lot of Xbox messaging in the past couple of years. It seems like very reactive to the community. Like they want to keep the community involved with their decisions, but really only if something leaks out. And I mean. And in a way, I get that, but I just wish they would be more proactive and on top of it, or just kind of like Sony and Nintendo. Sony and Nintendo seem to have the confidence to just like not address things. Like Sony's like just basically in a spiral, in a tailspin right now, and I don't think we're going to hear from the CEO apologizing for what they're doing right now. So
nope. So yes, it was Sea of Thieves, Pentiment, Hi-Fi Rush, and Grounded. All coming to either PS5 or Nintendo at a certain time. And then we saw again, I think in the Nintendo Direct this month as well, they showed, I think, Grounded and Pentiment like in the highlight reel at the very end.
And then later that day, Hi-Fi Rush to PS5, but no Switch announcement.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. What the whole like addressing the crowd thing just felt like a whole lot of nothing. It was just like, hey, we're trying this out. If it's successful, we might consider future options. Who knows? But the whole thing was we're not going to be doing like our major first party games on other consoles unless
day and date
basically. But these other smaller ones that maybe didn't get a lot of life on the Xbox or elsewhere that they feel like would benefit from having a larger player base, they're going to go ahead and try and bring them over to other consoles. So it's just that's just a lot of stuff. It's just like what, like, hey, all right, let's just see what they do. Let's just see what happens.
The way what I heard, what I like took away from it was we're going to try this, and if it works, we're going to keep doing it. And if it doesn't work, we'll go back to the drawing board. But their main focus at Xbox now is kind of expanding their player base to as many players as possible. That was said basically on the podcast, but in different phrasing. So if that's their main focus,
we're the largest publishers now on Xbox and PlayStation, or Nintendo and PlayStation. I was like, ugh.
It's wild. Yeah, they bought their way into that. But I mean, I guess when you think about Activision, Blizzard, and they have been like porting stuff over to other consoles for years, though, right? I mean,
right.
Minecraft has been everywhere. Ori and the Blind Forest came to Switch and PS5. Cuphead came to Switch and PS5. So, it's just, I don't know. I just feel like people make this just huge deals out of things that are very, very small.
There is a case though for the Xbox gamer. Like if all the Game Pass games, if all the Xbox games are coming day and date to Game Pass, pretty much, then why wouldn't they just go for a PC?
Yeah,
a PC and a PS5, or a PC and Nintendo, like whatever your shtick is.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, that's a hardcore niche audience. Like you were talking a couple weeks ago, like I don't know if I want to get involved in a PC because I don't want to do all the specking that's required for getting into each game. Like every game you play on PC, you've got to like adjust settings to meet the maximum requirements for that specific game, and some people really enjoy that, and I get the appeal. Honestly, for me, I'm not educated on it. Like I would have to spend the time to kind of get into that and nerd out on that side of gaming as a hobby. I've already got like my library built up on PlayStation and Nintendo, and shoot, man, if I ever get an Xbox again, I've got a library built up on that as well. So
if I ever acting like you won't.
Yeah, I probably will at some point when PlayStation runs itself into the ground,
which we'll talk about in a little bit, or we can talk about right now, actually, if you want to.
Sure.
So yeah, PlayStation 5 or just Sony in general, they're having a rough go this month. They basically had a board meeting or an investor call or something like that, where one of the execs came out basically and said, "Hey, PlayStation's in its latter life cycle, and we're not going to be not releasing any new major existing franchises until 2025." Next fiscal year.
So incredibly blunt. And, you got to appreciate the honesty, but that is
just getting out ahead.
Yeah.
And today they announced, February 27th, they announced that they're laying off 900 people in most of their major first party teams,
including like Naughty Dog and Insomniac. And
yeah,
that's just absolutely stunning.
Their best developers that have like been producing some of their biggest titles.
Arguably in the running for the best in the world. Like they're the best to do this. And it's not only like, oh, we're cutting back on teams. And like the first initial thought for that is like, oh man, they're making their team smaller. That sucks. But like you're cutting creative talent. You're cutting like a workflow that is proven and a workforce that is proven to be like not just like successful, but like 90s on Metacritic, 90s on OpenCritic, like also just like these staples in the games industry that have like made hugely influential, waves in the industry. So it's a real bummer. And
so you think PlayStation's they're going down? You're worried about PlayStation? Can you elaborate on this a little bit more?
Yeah, I don't think they're actually going down. I think that they are in a really bad spot right now. And I think that they're going to have to figure something out with the way that AAA game development is right now and how long it takes for them to make their games, how much they're spending on each game. They've somehow
ballooned in
a
size.
lot of the budgets for these games are being released, and it seems like they're kind of at the peak of the industry. Like they're spending as much as in any other AAA games, like much more than other AAA games, definitely much more than Nintendo spends on their AAA games for their budgets. And, yes, they have the best looking games of the industry, in my opinion. They have some of the best experiences in the industry, in my opinion, but at what cost? Like the feed of games on the PS5 has been such a slow drip that, sometimes there's like 6 months where I just don't even play my PlayStation 5, and I'm not really even like thinking about it at all. So I don't know, man. It's been pretty rough. And like for me, like my favorite franchises are Uncharted and The Last of Us, and we haven't really seen anything from those franchises on the PlayStation 5. I mean, The Last of Us remasters, and I know part 1 was technically like a brand new game, but man, it's just been a rough go. Do I think that they're not going to exist in the next 10 years? No. But I do think that, I don't know if it's Jim Ryan or, the board of directors over there pushing them in one direction. I do think they're in a place right now where the next 5 to 6 years, they're going to be hurting for content because of their two things. They pushed hard on games as a service, and I think that is a go big or go home gamble business move where, say you put 10 games as a service in the pipeline, only one of those may hit and become like a huge thing. And Helldivers is big, yeah, but even that, like, who's to say that's going to have legs, that's going to live on? Like these games as a service are supposed to live on for multiple years, right, and be a part of the gaming zeitgeist for a long time. And it's just impossible, I think, to like make that happen. It has to be like lightning in the bottle, and I don't know that you can manufacture that kind of success. So I just don't think it was a wise business decision. And to be fair, we don't know how much resources they poured into that, but from what we have heard, it seems like it was an awful lot. And then they're also pouring resources into VR, and that doesn't get enough attention for how much of a complete S show that was. I mean, it was dead before launch, and everybody knew it. I mean, that was like a Virtual Boy failure.
Yeah, I haven't seen numbers yet on the VR2, but um, I know it's not been good. Like it hasn't been really like talked about much, so that tells me that it's not going great.
Yes.
um, you made me think of something really quick though, with like the idea of games as a service, investing in that model. In you said this perfectly. Like it's like catching lightning in a bottle, and you can't really manufacture that. I think another thing to consider though is that games as a service require the player base to commit to a single game for a long time. And if you're making multiple games as a service, and if you like what's the shelf life of that game supposed to be for each person? They probably sat down and said, okay, if we can keep a player engaged in this game for at least 6 months, then we'll make X amount of more dollars off of one person. Let's make 10 of these and we'll make tons more money doing that, which I could see that being like a financial decision that made sense at the time. But then I don't think what they factored into, and this is just me, I'm not a games businessman's, I'm a marketing man's. They didn't factor into burnout. Like people can really only handle like one games as a service at a time. And
Right.
like if you do too much of that, you need like a palate cleanser. You need to go back to what you're like something else that is not that at all. So a better strategy for Sony, and I'm sure they're already doing this, and they kind of have this in some way still, but like do a games as a service like Helldivers, sure, but then also pair that with one of your first party blockbuster titles, and just give people that healthy balance. It doesn't have to be like a ton of games every year. Like give us like 4 games a year, like 4 big games, like 2 games as a service, two big first party titles, and then like that would be sufficient, I feel like, for most people.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, yeah, I wonder how much of PlayStation's player base is even into that kind of game, because I come to PlayStation for these huge AAA experiences that are mostly narrative driven or open world. They're not games as a service, and that kind of type of game does not appeal to me at all. And I think there's a lot of people in my age demographic who grew up kind of the way I play games, and that's just not for them. And I do think there's some people like me who maybe will play a couple hours of a games as a service a week, and I've been that person with, like, I guess you could classify like Rocket League as that, or Splatoon as that. So I've jumped into a couple games, but I'm still like the type of guy who might put in like 20 to 40 hours over the course of 2 years on those games,
Right.
So it's just not, I don't know. I just feel like they missed the mark on that a little bit.
Well, I'll get us on the next board call, and we'll give them some ideas.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Hey guys, we got the answers. Okay, let us tell you how it's done. Okay. All right. Let's go to the next news item. IGN is forming a union, and they have. Really, all I need to say is this. As of February 22nd, the IGN Creators Guild has been voluntarily recognized by Ziff Davis and IGN management. Ziff Davis is the parent company of IGN. They own a whole bunch of other media outlets. But yeah, congrats. Cool. Congrats to the IGN team. That's pretty cool. When I saw this come out, I was like, oof. That's kind of sad, because I know that there were some layoffs at IGN, and I think they were just like seeing all the layoffs that happened in January to not just game developers, but also media outlets all across the nation. And they're like, yeah, we gotta button up. Let's just go ahead and bite this bullet and make this happen. So
it's crazy too, because it kind of seems like it happens every 5 years at IGN. Like, I've been IGN content consumer for, like, I mean, since I was in high school, man. And you get like attached to some of these hosts, and
you do,
and a lot of the people who
writers.
make their content, and it's such a shame to see some of them go, and a lot of times it's voluntary, like they're leaving somewhere else, but it's always
Nintendo.
like
Jose Otero.
Tina Amini, was a great example. Like, I loved hearing her on GameScoop every week, and man, I like GameScoop's where it's at, first of all. But yeah, now
the only games podcast.
But a lot of their podcasts suffer. Like NVC, I've listened to for 12 years. But yeah, after Jose Otero, it was kind of like in the doldrums for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And you still had like awesome guest hosts like Zach Ryan and Brian and Pear. Mm-hmm. But they're in a good spot again now. But yeah, so many of these networks, so many of these big sites know that talent is expendable, and they know they can just hire a very talented person for much less money if they ever have to get rid of somebody. And it's sad the way that works, but glad they got the union. That's good for them.
Yeah. All right. Disney invests 1.5 billion in Fortnite maker Epic Games. This came out of nowhere, kind of.
Yes.
So this is a little excerpt I pulled out. The Walt Disney Company and Epic Games will collaborate on an all-new games and entertainment universe that will further expand the reach of beloved Disney stories and experiences. So let's just take that line and give me one idea right off the top of your head, Landry, that you might have for a Disney and Epic collaboration where they can experience Disney stories and experiences.
Dude, I'm thinking like you have like a hub world, and so like rather than like it's like an extension of Disney Plus almost. Like you can just take an avatar and kind of walk around there and like,
Ooh.
oh, I want to go watch Monsters Inc. today. I'll go inside of this Pixar theater and I can go hang out and see some of the characters from Monsters Inc. and like walk into a theater, and then like that's where I play the movie or something like that. So it's like an interactive video experience. I have no idea what they're doing with this. When I saw $1.5 billion, I was like, holy crap, that is a lot of money. And I remember reading that like Sony and Lego invested $1 million into Epic, and they came out with like that Lego Fortnite thing.
Yep.
I was like, those are pretty good returns for $1 million. And I think if Xbox and Sony have told us anything, you can't buy success just by dumping a lot of money into it. But those
Disney's
Imagineers
trying.
at Disney are pretty creative and
pretty smart.
Epic seems to know what they're doing with building a good infrastructure. So
when I saw this, my mind immediately first went to like the in-game concerts they've hosted, with Travis Scott and stuff like that.
Right?
Yeah,
I can't remember.
Yeah, Lady Gaga's most recently. Yeah, so like they can see the cross intersection between like entertainment and video games. People will play this video game, be in that world, and like experience it together with a whole bunch of people at the same time. So they're like, we could use this to our advantage in different ways. And I don't know what they're going to put in there. Disney owns a lot of stuff. They own ESPN. So technically they could even put like live sporting events in Fortnite somehow. Like they could do all kinds of stuff with this. I believe it's going to be more related to, like they said, the Disney stories and experiences. So like,
right.
I'm thinking they're going to try and encapsulate the Disney World experience in Fortnite. Like, hey, here's a mini theme park that you can go play around in, like ride some of these rides that are like one-to-one recreations of like what you would see in Disney World. And then, hey, while you're here, also like we're premiering Frozen 3 in Fortnite or something like that.
Right.
And I was like, dang, that would be
There's
cool.
a lot of possibility, a lot of potential. And Disney, they have a history with video games too. Like Disney Interactive back in the day was not a terrible publisher. They put out a lot of crap, but they put out a lot of good stuff too. And then they had another development partner. And maybe it was Pure. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like they put out some good like arcadey games in the PS3 era. So
yeah,
they could put something together.
They could do it. I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. I don't think we'll see any news from this for a while. I think the acquisition or like the partnership still has to like go through like legal stuff. So we'll see.
Right.
All right. Last two on the news docket for us. Nintendo Partner Showcase. That was okay. It was fine. Yeah. We saw Super Monkey Ball, the first one that's come out in 10 years. That looked pretty good. I was excited about that.
Yep, I agree.
Epic Mickey. That looks pretty cool.
Looks super cool. I think that game is going to surprise a lot of people. In the trailer, they said it's a faithful remake. And I played that about a year ago, really just like the first 2 hours on Wii. And I was absolutely stunned at the animation quality, the art style. And like it played really well. The one problem was it really it wanted so badly to be a dual analog stick game to where you could control the camera. and there's no camera control in that game, and that's what held it back. Like if you go back and read reviews, it's the camera control. It's absolutely garbage. So if they can simply fix that, I think it will be a very good 3D platformer like Collectathon.
Okay.
That's going to remind people of, the GameCube N64 days. So
excited about that. Fantasy Life, you put this one in here. Or you mentioned this.
Great game on the 3DS. I never played it, but I've heard a lot about it, and I feel like it looks kind of fun. And I know it's got a huge cult following, so I think that could be an interesting game.
Big win for them. And then, Penny's Big Breakaway. I've been keeping my eyes on this one because it's like the first 3D platformer, a la Banjo-Kazooie, Mario 64 we've seen in a while. It's got a lot of fun and colorful environments. The platforming looks unique. She's swinging around a yo-yo. Is that what it is? And she can kind of like hook it on things and like grapple stuff. So
it's from Christian Whitehead, who was one of the main developers of Sonic Mania. And before that, he worked on like recreating like some Sonic 3 games, like kind of for the DIY community. And that's how Sega found him, I think. That was all very anecdotal. Google it and you'll get the real story. But
the real story.
But yeah, I think that, there's pedigree with that game, and it kind of looks like, to me, I don't know if you ever had a Dreamcast, Jake, but I did too, and it looks like a Dreamcast game to me. And
it does.
That's not a era of games that's recreated very often, but just something about the color palettes that they're using. They're bright. They're very bright, and a lot of times they almost look like they kind of clash. But I'm okay with it. I like it.
I like it.
It looks fun. I'd really like to try that one.
Yeah,
it's $30 though, so I'm kind of hoping for a sale or a review because I haven't seen any reviews on it.
30's
not bad. You're right. If it's a great game, I'll definitely pay that.
Come on. 8 and above, $30. That's not bad.
Agreed.
And then today we had the Pokemon Presents. This premiered at like 9 a.m. It was just like 12 minutes of Pokemon news.
That's about all I could handle.
And man, I don't know what it is. I really do think it's just me getting a little bit out of the demographic for Pokemon. And I know we're on a podcast talking about video games, and that's what Pokemon is. And it's one of my favorite games of all time, Pokemon Red. But anytime I see some of this new stuff, I'm just like a little bit just disinterested. I'm like, I just can't really get into what you guys are trying to do now. Like, they had like the Pokemon Sleep debut. They had all their mobile game stuff they were trying to show us. And really the only thing
that's the whole lifestyle brand thing.
They want Pokemon in your life, and that's fine. The only thing that looked cool to me, I don't know what you thought about this, but there was a Pokemon trading card game. Did you see this? That
looks pretty sweet. I was way more interested in that than anything else.
Right. I've not played the Pokemon trading card game in a while. I played the one on Game Boy, and then I played just the one in real life. But I do think like this idea, and I think it will be done successfully or done well, is going to make them so much money.
Yeah, I agree completely. I was just thinking, I was like, man, I think they're going to have a hit on their hands here. I will say one thing about Pokemon, the Pokemon company, is they've got a lot of money, and they can make some dang good commercials, man. I thought that was a really good, well advertised game too. What was interesting, it wasn't kids that they were hitting. They were hitting like 20-year-old demographic folks. So
yep. So the Pokemon trading card game and like collecting is still huge in like younger communities, but
still big and with like 30-year-old dudes too.
Yes,
they're the ones who drop the big money on
opening packs. Just spent $20,000 on this unopened box of Pokemon cards. But yeah, dude, like so you get 2 free packs to open per day. It comes out 2024. And you know that there's going to be a way to buy more packs. Like
100%. Yeah.
And I don't. Oh man, it's a digital card. It's just a digital version of their cards that they're just selling.
Those shinies though, or what? Literally holographic.
Almost zero cost to them. There's no manufacturing cost anymore to these cards. No shipping. They just have the design. They already have the designs. They already have the digital designs of these cards. They're just uploading the high res PNGs to this phone game.
Did you catch the one card where, like, the one type of card where you can actually like go into the card and like see the environment? That was pretty cool.
That is kind of cool. Like you can see the backgrounds and stuff. Yeah,
right.
I don't know. I mean, I'll check it out. I'll check it out because I'm like, it's free.
I will probably check that one out as well.
2 free packs a day. That's all I need. I'm not going to be buying stuff in here. Like, I just want to see what's going on, play some Pokemans, and then get out of there. But good for them. That's cool. And then the biggest news was at the very end. We're getting the next main Pokemon franchise entry is a Legends game in the same styling as Legends Arceus or Arceus, however you pronounce it. Z-A.
Finally got Pokemon Z. It's been however many years in the making. I remember, all the rumors were that Pokemon X and Y were going to have that Pokemon Z follow up, and it never came. So here it is. What I know it's completely different, but
yeah, supposedly it's the Kalos region. I don't know. A whole bunch of other Pokemon folks know like what this means. I don't know what it means. This was on Twitter today. Someone was saying Pokemon Legends Z set in Kalos Mega Evolutions. What?
Yeah. I don't know much about the lore of Pokemon. All I know is that I could not play Arceus. I know it got like some good reviews and stuff. I'm not a guy that cares about frame rate or like muddy graphics very much. That game ran so poorly. It's the only game that I can ever remember just like basically selling almost immediately, because I was like, I played it for, I said almost immediately. I played it for like 15 hours and I was just like, I have no desire to continue this. It looks so trash.
It gets worse as the game goes on, actually. So the first regions are like pretty bare bones.
I got
like,
to the second region. I think
not bad, but yeah, when you get into the more like intricate levels, I notice it even more. Like the birds that would be like flying in the background, like it's almost like stop motion. They'd be like tick 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 tick, just like
it's
moving.
Just like it's just unacceptable. And so I never even bought Scarlet and Violet. And normally I'll buy a Pokemon game, even if I don't play it. To be honest,
hot trash.
Yeah,
hot trash.
I remember hearing your takes on that.
They're waiting until 2025 to release this one. So here's to hope.
At least. Oh, you're talking about Legends? Yes.
Yeah, and this is the first time they've skipped like a year to like develop a game. So big on the Pokemon company to do that. So hopefully they launch it and it runs well. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe the trading card game can hold them over. I'm sure that'll be a success.
Well, they're probably waiting for the Switch too, honestly. They're like, yeah, we'll just wait.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's jump over into other news. Big game releases and their receptions. I'll just kind of run through these. Persona 3 Reload, 89. People like this. Are you going to pick this one up, you think?
Probably not. I'm going to work through Persona 5 for the rest of my life, I think. And that'll be good enough for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I like it. I just, can only handle so many 100-hour RPGs.
So much. And we got Final Fantasy around the corner. Speaking of, not yet. Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, 62. And not great. Not great.
Man.
Just a whole mess of games as a service, kind of what we were talking about. Started out
gross, man,
with some neat ideas, I'm sure, and it just fell apart at the seams. And
actually, I would argue that the first idea was a terrible one, and that is like, let's not make another Batman game. Like, we've been really awesome at this one thing, and let's make a Suicide Squad one. I just, to me, the Suicide Squad is just completely uninteresting. I don't like the preface of any of the stories, but I've already talked about that before. So
yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad. This game's gonna go down.
The good news is, the good news is like now Rocksteady can go and like make another great game, but it's a games as a service, so they probably have to just like continue developing this until Warner Brothers decides to axe it. So
forever and ever.
Gracious.
The upside of Suicide Squad is I sort of have like a loose connection that actually works at Rocksteady, and he, I think, helps with like the environment design and stuff. And everyone said that the environment and like the way the game looks is amazing. They're like the cutscenes, everything else looks really, really good. It's just dead. There's no, like the whole like mission structure and the world, like in terms of like actual AI or just computer.
It's so wild too, because they're such a strong development team. I just wonder, like, my head can't go or help but go to a place like, were they dragged kicking and screaming to develop this project? Like, was it not something they wanted to do? Like, how can you turn out a product like that with?
I mean, they've been working on it for a while, and Suicide Squad at the time was probably hot. And they're like, well, we can probably pull this out, and it'll be a pretty fun game. But
right, Yep.
Helldivers 2. I think this might even be higher, or if that's the actual rating right now on OpenCritic, 83. This game has been a ton of fun. I'm going to speak to it personally. I've been playing it. It's a blast. Basically, it's Starship Troopers and a whole bunch of other like pop culture references just smashed together. But basically, you're just some space rangers running around shooting bugs and robots with 3 other friends, and you're calling in airstrikes and grenade launchers dropping down out of the sky, and you're going to different planets and liberating them for democracy. And it's a ton
For
of fun.
democracy.
Man. Yes,
that sounds pretty great. To be honest,
it is
pretty fun.
It is a ton of fun. I initially wasn't sure on it because I played the first one. It was I think it made a PS Plus game. It was a crossplay PS Vita.
I had it. I did not like it very much.
Yeah, top down. I just was like, yeah, this is okay. Like it's not really hooking me. But this is third person now, and it just I don't know. It's got legs. There's just a lot of things you can upgrade and work towards. There's different things you can earn when you're in the map, and it honestly looks really good.
I have not heard anyone say anything but positive things about it, excluding performance issues. Like, oh, I can't get in tonight, that kind of thing. That's been happening a lot on Twitter. Like the server's down.
Totally fixed now. And I think that's why the scores are lower than they are. But like, yeah.
I hate when reviewers dock things for like technical performance.
Yeah.
It sucks.
It sucks because the developer had no idea it was going to be this much of a big hit. Like this is the first PS5 and PC day and date release. And it's been a huge success. They're like, holy smokes, we got to buy more servers. Everything's breaking. This is insane. I think it's only growing in most concurrent players over time. Like most of the time.
That's awesome, man.
I think I was hearing Justin Davis say there's like most time on Steam, it'll peak at the very beginning and then like drop right after that. But like this one's just continued to like slowly increase as the weeks have gone on.
How exciting for them.
It's broken the records for like, I think most concurrent on Steam or something like that. It's nuts.
Cool. Well, I might have to pick that one up.
Check it out, man.
Maybe I can drop in with you, shoot some bugs.
Yeah. Diving in, hell diving. All right. Skull and Bones. Ooh, 61. Lower than Suicide Squad.
Wow. That's shocking.
Not great. It's just unfortunate because I think when this idea was hatched, it was a good idea. When they first were like, let's make just a ship battle game, like that'll be cool.
There's kind of like a follow-up to Black Flag, right?
Yep.
Assassin's Creed Black Flag.
Like
which came out forever ago.
2011, 2012, 13, 14, sometime around there. Yeah. It's been a minute. And
PS3 release.
Ooh. And I just, Yves Guillemot called this a quadruple A game. And maybe it is. In terms of like resources and stuff they have going on behind the scenes. But it just came out to a whole lot of nothing. And it makes me sad, but I'm glad they got it out after all this time.
Yeah, I'm glad they were able to ship it. I'm glad they stuck with it. I thought that's cool for Ubisoft to do that because it seemed like there was never really any hype for this game at any point. So
just commit. We're still doing it. We're getting this ship game out.
Hey, that gives me hope for oh wow, man, I'm completely blanking. That's how long it's been. Game on PS2 and GameCube that I liked a lot. And they were gonna make a new one. It's like space
Eternal
battle.
Darkness. Oh, I don't know.
Pigs.
Oh, yes, Beyond Good and Evil.
Yes, Beyond Good and Evil. Yeah.
Yes.
Makes me hopeful that they will actually go through with making
battle
that.
Pigs. We haven't seen a lot in that game. That actually looked really cool when they showed that. I was like, I'm into this.
And the first game was awesome.
Oof. Yeah, oh man. I think it kind of goes back to this like this quote that we pulled from our other discourse, but Square Enix said that more and more games either crash and burn or find big success.
Right.
And I think this is a case of that where it's like they already knew it was going to crash and burn, and they were just like, well, we already have all this out and this money invested. Let's just go ahead and push it out and just see what happens. And maybe it'll find a second life, kind of like Rust did, Fortnite did. Like there's ways that they could turn this into something else if they put more time into it, but I don't know if they will. We'll see.
They have so many hits and so many failures too. Like, I mean, Immortals Phoenix Rising was another one that looked cool. It just didn't quite get, its legs under it. And kudos to them for continuing to try to innovate, because it seems like in the video games space, especially AAA, it's just new sequels to already established IP, but they're trying it, and it's tough.
We're heading the way of Hollywood, just sequels on sequels and prequels.
Yep.
And then last, speaking of sequels, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, 93 right now on OpenCritic.
Yeah, man,
people love it. People love it.
Yes, they do, and I'm excited. I think.
Are you going to pick it up?
Not like day of or anything. I'm in the middle of Final Fantasy 16, slowly chipping away at that. Yeah. I will probably play it at some point in 24. Get into the conversation.
I need to finish Remake, the first one.
Same.
in this
That's my next game that I really want to pour time into. Maybe over spring break. I don't have much to go on 16, so
I got about 20 hours in, I think, and I looked up how long to beat, and I was like, 80 hours. I was like, oh boy,
what, for Final Fantasy VII Remake?
I think so. Maybe I was mistaken.
I thought it was 30.
Maybe I was mistaken.
That'll be terrible news
if it's 30. Then that's great. Then we're close.
Yeah, I think it's 30-ish.
Okay,
I don't think it's a very big game.
All right, we'll see.
For RPG standards,
yes.
Now maybe completion stuff.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into this last section. Interesting, funny bits, online discourse. So there was rumors of a new PlayStation handheld in development. This comes from WCCF Tech. But other than just I'm not even going to read the specs on this because this is just ridiculous. But is there a world in which we could have another handheld PlayStation device?
Yes, I think so.
Do you want?
I think it'd be really interesting. What'd you say?
Do you want that?
Not really. I mean, not unless it's going to play PlayStation 5 games. I don't want them to split their. Obviously, they can't even handle supporting one console, so I don't want them to split their studios up between two consoles. That seems absurd. So,
damn. You heard it here first. Later, coming down with the hard dad advice. You can't even handle this. All right, I can't give you more responsibility. Oh, I mean, it's true though. It's true. I love the PS Vita. I love handhelds. They're a great way for parents to be able to try and fit in gaming. I think more and more about buying the PlayStation Portal because I'm like, man, I would love to play some PlayStation stuff right now, like more Helldivers.
Dude, yeah, the idea of the Portal seems so cool. If it would work for me, I would be into it.
Yeah, bad Wi-Fi. That's right. Forgot about that. Yeah. So I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. I love handhelds. I think if another developer out, I think there was rumors of Xbox considering one as well with their Game Pass cloud stuff going. I think if there was one that I would prefer PlayStation to make one because I just think I think their tech is generally better when it comes out. So we'll see. But did you catch the Legend of Zelda Orchestra concert on the 9th?
I did not. I forgot. I had it saved on YouTube, and I just forgot to go back and play it. Was it rad?
It was cool, man. It really was.
I've watched one of them before on YouTube.
Yeah. I think if you've missed not being able to go in person to these concerts, this is a great way to just listen to it. And they kind of hit all the bangers across the board. It's only 40 minutes long. It's really good. Check it out.
I would love to go to one of those. I heard no Wind Waker, no Twilight Princess, which is a bummer because those are two of my favorite soundtracks.
I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. I don't know what's in this one, but still some good stuff in there. You'll appreciate it.
Cool.
You'll appreciate it.
Very cool.
All right, so that kind of ends our news segment, Landry. We have a new little fun thing we'll do at the end of the news segment here, and this was your idea. I like this. We're going to give one company the Horse Armor Trophy for the month. Being the company that has had just the worst PR news cycle for the month.
Just horrible press this year. And, beginning of really up until, I don't know, mid-February, you thought for sure Xbox was going to take it. And then Nintendo, all the rumors started coming out. Nintendo's not going to come out with a console this year. Their stock prices are falling. And then PlayStation just comes and drops a bomb. We're not making games anymore. No, they didn't say that. But we're not going to release any games this year. So, and then they cut 900 employees today. So I think that we got to give this one to PlayStation this month, man.
I think PlayStation is the winner of the first ever BitCast horse armor trophy.
Wonderful.
I need to add some cheering noises to that one. Ta-da!
Yes, absolutely.
Something like that.
Work some editing magic on that.
Yeah. Good luck to our contestants next month. We'll hopefully we look forward to awarding the horse armor trophy to the developers next week. All right. I don't know. So I've been pulling these lists from just Game Informer, Polygon, just trying to pull these in, and I think these are up to date. I think this is what we got looking at for March, and some of this is looking pretty good. Some of it's not looking so good. I could have sworn that freaking 1,000 Year Door was coming out this month. When is that coming out?
I don't think it's announced, man.
1,000 Year Door. Hold on. Remake. Oh, early 2024. Okay, never mind. All right. Okay.
They may push it back.
We'll see. I hope not, but we'll see. All right. So did you didn't add Snufkin in here, did you? Snufkin Melody?
No.
Moomin Valley?
Yeah, you must have seen. Yeah, that must have been right after the Nintendo Direct.
I'd accidentally left that one in there. Okay. So Unicorn Overlord on March 8th, coming to all consoles, PS4, PS5, Switch, Xbox Series X. Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection. This is kind of cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Pretty much all consoles on the 14th. Hi-Fi Rush coming to PS5 on the 19th.
Oh man, that's a quick turnaround. Very cool.
Here it is. Horizon Forbidden West coming to PC on the 21st. Dragon's Dogma 2, PC, PS5, Xbox Series X, March 22nd.
I'm interested.
Princess Peach Showtime, Switch,
Not
March 22nd. Not interested. Rise of the Ronin PS5, March 22nd. South Park Snow Day, PC, PS5, Switch, Xbox Series X, March 26th. And Pepper Grinder, PC, Switch, March 28th. I put that one in because I like that game.
Cool. Yeah, that game looks sweet.
I put it on my fantasy draft.
Oh, did you really?
It looks so good. It just looks like a game that's going to be good.
It does. Yeah, I could see that one scoring well.
So yeah, of the month, what's your game of the month next week what's your game of you're looking forward to the most for March?
I got to go with Hi-Fi Rush, man. That game, Mark has been talking about it all last year. It looks sweet. It looks right up my alley.
Shut up about that game.
I like rhythm games sometimes, and sometimes I don't. But just the art style and everything else around it, I'm definitely willing to give this one a shot.
Yeah, same here. Hi-Fi Rush looks great. I'm excited about that one. I've been wanting to play it, and this is a great way to do it. And I just am curious about Princess Peach Showtime. I want to see how that one lands. Everything I've seen so far is kind of like each time I see some new gameplay, I'm like, this looks like a Mario Party game. Like this looks like it could be fun, but not that much fun. Like a real good 7 out of 10 game. And I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I've been burned by Kirby too many times to pick one of these things up. It does look like for a younger audience, and I may get it for my son sometime. I don't know.
I will say the latest Kirby game was really good, though. That was pretty good. Forgotten Worlds.
Yeah. I did get that, and it was great. Yeah, I'm curious about Princess Peach. I'm curious about Dragon's Dogma and Rise of the Ronin and Pepper Grinder. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all big studios really making those games. And then Pepper Grinder I'm looking forward to. I hope that lands well. Also because it's on my fantasy draft. So we'll see. You can subscribe to our shared Google Calendar linked in the show notes to stay up to date on the game releases that we think are worth sharing. So check those out. All right, let's jump over to the Game of the Month Club. I'm excited to hear your thoughts on this one, Landry. So for January/February, the whole month of February, we were playing Golden Sun because it was just released on NSO. And then Landry and I had already been playing on Analog Pocket. Landry, you played on NSO, I'm assuming?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And so let's go through some highs. What are your highs on Golden Sun?
The sprite art is awesome, man.
Yep.
I love the way the game looks. I thought it was great. Little CRT filter on the Switch made it look even more crisp and clean. I thought that I like the chunky characters, like during the fight scenes, like they're big, they're in your face. I like that. That's a matter of preference. And I really liked some of the dungeons in the game. I thought they were cool. Little RPG dungeons, like some light puzzles, nothing too intense. I'm thinking mostly about the tree dungeon. That's one of the first dungeons of the game.
Yeah. Falling through the floors, kind of doing some Zelda stuff there. That was kind of fun.
Some cool little puzzles. And I love that you can like collect the djinn. Is it, how do you pronounce that?
Yeah, djinn. Yeah.
Djinns around the world. Kind of reminded me of like collecting some of the summons in Final Fantasy IX. I like that you can explore the overworld and like there's a payoff there for that. So there's some of the highs that I have for the game.
Yeah, same as me. Some of the highs I would be, the djinn and the combat system, the way you can kind of pair. Like if you pair a certain person with the djinn, they'll take on that like element or like that style of fighting or like class.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
They get different move sets based on what you assign to them or like attach to them. And I think that like it made combat a little more interesting because if you really wanted to like spec your character out, you could. I looked up a guide to see like which ones people would recommend assigning djinn to. I was like which one like yeah, you can kind of tell in the game. They sort of give you like hints at like, oh, like Isaac is Jupiter, blah, blah, blah. And I forget the girl's name right now, but she comes with like the water djinn. So that much is fun. I think, really just like the dungeons are like the better parts of the game. Like actually getting into the dungeons and fighting stuff, like that's fine. The puzzles are simple, but
right.
Very nostalgic, very like reminiscent of like this kind of RPG where it's like they couldn't do much, but like what they did here was pretty clever and kind of fun. So, yeah.
Yep.
Now lows.
Oof. Do you want to start us off on the lows?
I'll start with the lows. This game is really talky. That intro is super long. It really took it
all timer on like the worst way to start a game I think I've ever played.
It's not
horrible.
Good. It's not good, and it makes you just go up and down and back and down and up and down over and over and over again in that city, that beginning town, like 16 times.
It's also like the worst designed town that I've played.
Horrible.
I didn't play the whole game.
It's hard to like get around. Like you don't know like which way you're supposed to go to like get down like, to an area.
Not visually, it's not appealing because all the houses are like stacked on top of each other.
Yes,
it's just very strange. Very strangely designed town.
Limited to what they could do probably at the time with technology, but yeah, it really felt like you were in the same area a lot of the times, and it wouldn't be clear. Like even in the dungeons, there's areas where there's like a little slide. You can slide down a little dirt mound and like go down a level.
I had a hard time seeing where those.
It's hard
were.
to see those. It's like, hard to see those in the game.
The first time that you come across that, it's like I think it's leaving the tree dungeon, and you're like going back through the little water area.
I thought I was stuck.
Walked back and forth the barrier like 6 times.
Same here.
What am I supposed to do? And then I just like. I guess just intuition. I just like hugged the neck of the curb of the tree, and then I eventually fell, and I was like, "Oh, there's like 3 little skid marks there."
It really is like a skid mark.
It's unbelievable. It's just really bad visual design.
Yeah, that's a low. The overworld, also like when you go outside of towns, if you like, they just there. It's very bland. And
it is bland.
There's not much to do other than like try to find the next place to go, and it's
it's kind of annoyingly designed again because it's like they'll give you these red herring routes, and it's like, man, I don't want to walk all the way to the end of this peninsula just to see that where I actually need to go is all the way over here. That's kind of frustrating too.
The dungeons do that to you also. They'll give you like 3 split pathways, and then like one goes to nothing, and then the other ones go to like where you're supposed to be going. Like, why would you put this in here? Like, why did you do this?
It's just to extend, I guess, like you're going to level up more if you go the wrong way, but you're also just kind of like,
more
to
monsters.
me, it's kind of annoying.
It's like, I don't want to fight more monsters right now. I just want to keep playing the game.
Right.
Yeah. I think the kit leveling system is pretty decent. Like you go to a town and they have like artifacts that have some special abilities. You can buy those and equip them. I think the inventory management system is also kind of trash. Like, having to like give items to a specific person, and like
they do. You have to do that in Dragon Quest a lot too, and that's not my favorite. I mean,
it's not the best. Not the worst. You can at least sort. You can sort by like items that are equipped, so you know like what's equipped and what's not, and you can sell things or move them around. I mean, I don't know. It's a good game. I haven't beaten it yet. I have probably like maybe 5 hours to go.
I would not call it a good game personally. I would be willing to say that it is okay. I understand how like you get your GBA at launch and you have nostalgia for it because there are some good qualities to it. And, you know, you're playing it for the first time on a portable system with the beautiful sprite art that can like kind of push you through. But I think as far as like 16-bit RPGs go, like between the SNES and the GBA, there's just so many better options. Right. And I've not played the sequels to Golden Sun, and they may get considerably better, but this one, it's just, for me, the dialogue is so terrible, and it's just always present. I feel like I'm always talking to somebody or trying to get through it. Go. Yeah. And to me, the other big thing for me is like, I never, every time I played Golden Sun, I was kind of dreading it, you know, like I'm going to play Golden Sun because it's game of the month.
Oh, but it's I'm so sorry.
No, I'm glad. Like I'm having a good time talking about it right now. But it's just, to me, I would give it probably, to be honest, it's a little harsh, but I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. Oh, man. Okay.
Maybe a 6. Maybe a 6.
I think I'd probably give it closer to like a 7. Like it's good. It's a good game. Now, it feels more like an okay game. It feels more like an okay game. You're right. It feels more like a 6 out of 10. Because of just like how long it takes to do stuff, and there's not a lot of satisfying story happening there. You know, you're just like, right. We're just chasing these people around, I guess, trying to figure out where my sister is or something like that. And this dude's sister is.
Yeah, I think a 6 is where I'll land as well. Yep.
Yeah. All right. 6 out of 10. Golden Sun. Sorry, Parker Deal. I know you're a big fan of Golden Sun. You can tell us why we're wrong, and we'll read it out on the show. And so, with that, March's game of the month. So you're going to play this in March, and we'll talk about it in March at the end. Castlevania Symphony of the Night. If you act now, you can get it for like super cheap on PS5.
It's either $2.99 or $3.99 with Rondo of Blood.
Yeah. You can get it elsewhere.
Graphics 16 game.
I know this game is good. I know it's like everyone's favorite, so I'm looking forward to this one. I've played a little bit of it on one of my emulators, but I'm excited to like fully dive in and play it on, you know, just a proprietary PlayStation software.
Yeah,
would be nice.
Yeah, something about emulated games, man, and you just kind of feel like you're not getting the full experience. Even if
it wasn't the original hardware, you know, like
right.
It needs to be on this hardware, and we're going to feel that a little bit with PS5. You know, it's going to be emulated there as well, but
it's an official emulator. You know that you're not going to get like. I'll never forget the time I was playing Chrono Trigger, and I had like 20 hours into it, and then my ROM was like corrupted. Like I couldn't get through one part because I went into a cave and it was pitch black, and there was like, it's very frustrating. But I went back and played Chrono Trigger on the Wii emulator, and that never happened. So
best way to play, apparently, the Wii emulator. Good stuff. All right. Well, I'm looking forward to that one. So yeah, we'll talk about that in March. Play along with us if you'd like, and we will include your thoughts. Last one. Everyone's favorite time, you know, in the podcast. Name that game music. The hit game, Name That Game music, where I play music from a video game and contestants earn points by guessing the correct game and moment or level/area. So 5 points for the game, 5 points for level/area if they get that right. So I'm going to play this first one. Hopefully it works. And Landry, I hope you get this one.
Hit me with the bops.
All right. I'm going to delete this first one so I don't confuse myself. Here we go.
Oh, man, this is Kokery Forest, Ocarina of Time.
That might be a record. That was so fast.
That is one of my most cherished songs probably of all time.
All right, good. Glad you got that one. I picked one that I knew starting out it would be a little bit easier for you. I was like, he'll get this one for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Great job. You have 10 points so far. Let's start with the next one.
It's very familiar. Oh man, it's so familiar. How long do I get?
I'll let it play. I'll let it play.
I'm thinking PS1 era. I'm thinking Final Fantasy.
Let it play, and you might pick it up in a second. There's like a drum beat that comes in.
Okay.
If it helps, I'll give you a hint here. Nintendo.
Oh, it's Nintendo. Okay. Man, where are those drums?
It's
so if we're at Nintendo, we're probably in the GameCube or N64 era. No, maybe this is Super Nintendo.
You were.
Oh, here we go. Oh man, I'm like so drawing a blank. I'm gonna guess.
I know you've heard it. I know you've played it.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess. Chrono Trigger.
Okay. No, any guesses on where it's at?
Like what the actual
area level?
No, a title screen. No, that's wrong. No, because it's got the clock. Hold on. Let me go back. I'm just gonna guess Final Fantasy 3, and I'm gonna guess that it is the opening scene.
Oh man, Landry, double miss on that one. That is Metroid Prime.
Oh my gosh, I played that like last year. What is wrong with me? That was GameCube, but dude, it's so weird.
Phendrana.
It sounds so different on the Switch remaster.
Phendrana drifts. That's like the snow level, the snow area.
So it's awesome on the Switch remaster.
If you would have said snow area Metroid Prime, I would have given you the 10 points.
If you had gotten it exactly right, I would have given it.
But you did not. Oh, sorry, bro.
Off.
Sorry,
way
bro.
Off.
All right, well, I'll play a little noise for that one.
Yeah.
But
so sad.
Track 3, here we go.
Okay. Okay. All right. I'm feeling at home here. This is right now. It's feeling like Kingdom Hearts. It's feeling like the intro to Kingdom Hearts.
Well,
but could it be?
You already got it.
The island. Yeah.
That was cool. It. You got it.
All right.
You already got it.
Nice.
Well done, brother. Hey, 20 points out of a total 30. Not bad. Not bad.
I'm really disappointed with myself with the Metroid thing.
Hey.
It was really like what was getting me was the I don't know, like the reverb on that mix is just like so outlandish. GameCube sound is so much worse than I remember it being.
Like, well, in your defense, I'm playing these on this video like service that we're using to like record this podcast, so it could be coming through sounding like absolute garbage on your end. I have no idea what it sounds like.
There's just like absolutely no lower end tones whatsoever. It was very treble forward, so it's all good. You know that I still should have gotten that one. Hey,
you know, you live and you learn. You'll never forget Phendrana drifts ever again.
No, you're exactly right.
Matt Insman will be very disappointed in you. He'll probably know that one in like 2 seconds. He's like,
and that's so fair.
Yeah,
he
freaking loves that.
Dude.
That track. All right, well, unfortunately, y'all, that is the end of our podcast. Landry, thank you so much for being on the show, man. I appreciate you and your wisdom, your hot takes.
Thank you, Jake. It's been fun. And I look forward to it, man. Every month.
I look forward to playing some Symphony of the Night next month.
That's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a good one to revisit.
I'm excited to be texting you about that just to see.
It's gonna score higher than a 6 out of 10. I guarantee you.
I think it will be. I think it will. You're right. Listeners, you know, what did you think of just February in general? What was your biggest news takeaway? What was your personal horse armor trophy that you'd like to award to somebody?
Kind of hope we have less news next month, to be honest. That was a gauntlet.
We're in trouble. We need to probably cull some of these lists and just cut down to the brass tacks. But there was some big stuff.
True.
Ask questions and send emails to bitcast@bitbloggist.com. And until next time, this has been BitCast. Thanks for tuning in. Talk about some stuff.